Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Tuesday morning. It's now the 22nd day of April, 2025, and this is the morning briefing. As we look out the window of the home weather office, it is another beautiful morning, not a cloud to be found. We might see a couple of clouds today, but it is going to be another mild day with temperatures reaching the low to mid 80s in the valley, similar to what we had yesterday. But from here, we are going to see cooler days ahead. And by the time we get into Friday night and Saturday, there may even be some rain. The models aren't real consistent on that, but it's something we'll have to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. And I'll get to more of that here in just a second. Also, if during these next few minutes that I'm recording this, you hear some noise in the background, yes, construction continues here at the home weather office. You may be hearing some saws or some banging. Yes, maybe another few weeks I'll have my house back. Here's the way it looks this morning. Here are those high clouds I mentioned that we may see go by during the course of the day today. We also have marine layer along the coast that will burn off quite nicely. But a nice extensive fog deck that shows up so great on these visible satellites. And you can see it extends well down into Southern California, into San Diego and Orange County, and up toward Malibu, all sorts of fog, but for the Central Valley and the Sierra, just a few high clouds going by. Now, yesterday I was talking about the snowpack and how it is dwindling, and which is very typical for this time of year. And somebody asked me about, well, what does that do to the stream flows downriver on the west slope for rafting and that sort of thing? Because springtime, it's big time rafting season. And so where do you find that kind of data, how the stream flows are going? Well, there's a place for that. So let's go to that. So you go to the California Nevada River Forecast Center. I always call it CNRFC. Right up here. CNRFC. There's the C. So I show you this during the wintertime quite a bit because we look at river forecasts. We also look at precipitation totals on here. Now, as you look at the map, you see all these green dots, and these are spots that are forecast for on a regular basis. And you'll notice that on the west slope, there aren't any. And the person that was asking yesterday was asking in particular about the American River. Well, you can see that on the American River, we've got a spot down here at H Street, but no, they want to know about what's going on up here. Well, you can do that because there are a couple of ways to do that. Because up here, over on this side, you have rivers and reservoirs, and you have forecasts for forecast points, but there's also other points. And down here, there's observed data for forecast points and other points. Let's go to other points here. And now you can see that there are a bunch of points here. So for instance, here on the South Fork of the American River at Kybers, you can click on that, and here is the graph over the last week or so showing the daily fluctuations in the stream flow here. Goes up after we get the melt, and so that's the diurnal fluctuation that you get. And over here on the side is in the CFS. Let's go to another couple of spots here because I thought there was one down here. Yeah, this one here, Placerville. So this is near Chili Bar. For those of you that like to raft on the South Fork of the American out of Lotus, this is your go-to. So coming out of Placerville, there actually this might be out of Slab Creek. But either way, you can see it peaks around 3,700 and it drops down to around 2,000 CFS, but that's what's heading down through the Lotus area. And there are a lot of spots here, if I widen back out, on various rivers. They're not all covered, but there are a couple on the McCollum, there's some on the Merced and the Tuolumne down in here. So for those of you that are interested in stream flows on the west slope and how they change with the snowmelt as well as releases, because there are some releases on smaller reservoirs, and those impact the stream flows downstream. So for those of you that are into rafting and that sort of thing, or just want to pay attention to how the snowpack is melting, this is your source. So again, you look at these other points, and there are forecast points, a fewer forecast points, but there are some that you can get a forecast for as well. So for that same spot here in Placerville, This is their forecast. Generally, I think it looks more normalized. So this is your previous, and then this is your forecast, and it keeps it around 2,400 CFS. I don't know much about rafting. I don't know if 2,000 is a good number, 3,000 is a good number. I don't know. But for those of you that do know, I hope that information is helpful. All right, let's see what's happening. So right now we're still under this ridge here. It's not the biggest ridge, but it will be make for a nice day today. This digging trough will usher in some cooler temperatures starting tomorrow. Everything will be fine, but then it's this trough that comes our way Friday into Saturday that'll make it even colder and maybe even produce a shower or two, especially a mountain shower. As we get into this time of year, if we had this sort of pattern, let me back up one frame. If we had this pattern in January or February, yeah, we'd be talking about valley rain because we'd be seeing cold enough air to squeeze out whatever moisture is there. But at this time of year, moisture tends to be a little bit more limited, and therefore you usually get most of your precipitation on the west slope or in the crest of the Sierra. But we'll see. If I had outdoor plans Friday night or Saturday morning, I'd be paying attention to the forecast. I'm not saying that we're going to see so much rain that we could see a washout, but there certainly could be some rain, and it is certainly going to be colder than what we're seeing now. Temperatures today in the 80s in the valley, next couple of days 70s. It'll stay cool into the weekend. This is into Sunday night. But then by the time we get into Monday, we get back into ridging, and so early next week will be dry and warmer once again. Let's take a look at the GFS for that precip. And there it is. That's the sound of progress. I love the sound of saws in the morning. This is Thursday afternoon. This is Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday night. This is late Friday night. This is Saturday. There's a sign that we have a cutoff low in here. That is the 540 thickness line, so it is pretty cold for this time of year. That's early Saturday morning. This is around midday Saturday. I think this is probably a little overdone, but again, as this forecast gets into the range of the NAM over the next couple of days, we'll see how the resolution looks on this. So that's why I say if you have outdoor plans Saturday, just stay tuned to the forecast, because I'm not saying we're going to see so much rain that it would be a washout, but it will certainly be colder and there could be some showers. So let's talk a little bit about that cool down. This is this afternoon, these 5,000-foot temperatures. And again, we use this as a proxy to look at the how the temperatures down at the surface are going to be impacted. So as I scroll over the valley, you'll see that today, this afternoon at around 5 p.m., these temperatures are in the mid-50s. So let's say it's 55. Let's go to tomorrow afternoon. How much has that changed? Well, now these temperatures are around 50. So we've lost 5 degrees. That will translate into, it'll probably be more of an onshore breeze as well. So tomorrow we'll see temperatures likely stay in the upper 70s as opposed to the low to mid 80s. Then we get into Thursday afternoon, and we're going to see these temperatures now stay in the mid 40s. So now we've gone from the upper 70s down to the low 70s. And then on Friday, it gets even colder. This is Friday afternoon. Now that temperature is down around 36. That's, again, the 5,000-foot temperature. So for those of you that have put away the somewhat warmer clothes because we've had a couple of days in the 80s, yeah, not so fast. We will be seeing that change, and we will likely be seeing some colder weather, showers, if possible, on Saturday, as well as mountain snow is likely. But, we're talking this, not this. So again, I think that's a detail that we'll be able to sort out better starting tomorrow, and then certainly into Thursday and Friday for your outdoor plans for this weekend. So again, don't be lulled to sleep by the days like we're going to have today with sunshine, light winds, and temperatures in the 80s. We're not quite at this time of year. We're not quite at the time of year where it's here to stay. we still have a few more bumps on the road to come. So yeah, the warmer weather gear, if you want to call it that, for temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, the warmer weather gear should stick around for a little bit longer before you put it away for the season. That's everything I have for you on this Tuesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.